A local organization will soon hold a two-day event geared toward domestic violence awareness, and we are all invited to participate.
Here to share more with us is Reverend Kezra Marshall, founder of the Hidden Jewels Project. Good morning, Reverend.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, how are you?
We are good. Thank you for being with us. So please share with us a little bit more about your organization, Hidden Jewels Project. Why did you start this?
The Hidden Jewels Project actually began in the year of 2011. And it was actually out of my personal experience. I am a domestic violence survivor. And the very fact that I was one of those who kept silent because of the shame that I felt when I experienced it. So in 2011, I actually was approached by one of my colleagues, my preacher colleagues, who wanted me to join him in a domestic violence awareness project. And so out of that was birthed the Hidden Jewels Project, where our mission is not only to educate, but educate specifically with the faith-based populations, because what I've discovered that those of us who are in ministry a lot of times don't know how to deal with and handle those who have experienced domestic violence issues, and that may be in those situations now. So part of what I want to do is make sure that even in our faith-based communities that we are well educated and connected to the community resources that we have here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Amazing. All right, so tell us about Hidden Jewels Weekend.
Yes, the Hidden Jewels Weekend, I'm really excited about it. I have been actually doing this online since COVID-19. So we will be bringing it live and in living color here beginning on November 11th, which we will begin with our gala that will begin at 7 p.m. I'm really excited because about 3 years ago, I began to look at some of the advocates that have been doing the work in the communities that people don't really know about the work that they're doing. So part of educating my education purpose of what I do at Hidden Jewels, I also want to make sure that people know about those that are doing the work behind the scenes, hence Hidden Jewels, those that are hidden in the backdrop. So I am delighted to announce that I will be giving 3 awards this time. And so the Hidden Jewels Project will be giving the Omni Advocacy Award to Miss Dewana Hamlin. She is the director of Bridges. And so she is the director of the Family Justice Center here in Forsyth County. Actually, Mrs. Hamlin was a part of the inception of the first conference that I did. And I wanted to make sure that I highlighted the work that she's been doing over the years. The Omni Advocacy Award is actually an award that I established based upon my mother, who is now deceased, but she actually experienced domestic violence as well. So she was a survivor. And so this is a very important personal award that I'm giving out to her, as well as I have Miss Sylvia Little, who will be getting the award. It's called the Purple Playground Award. So I have expanded that we have a division for youth that will actually be advocating for children who are in domestic violence households. So, and we have none other than Mr. Stovell Wade II, who will be receiving our Man Stand Award. And this award is given to a male advocate who actually is pushing to make sure that domestic violence awareness is established in the communities, that they're educated, as well as being he is just, I tell you, I'm so amazed at him because he actually has a story himself because his mother was lost to domestic violence. So the Man Stand is a very important and integral part of the Hidden Jewels weekend. Followed by that, we will be having on that Saturday, we will be digging deep into our conference. Our conference will be doing the work. So we will be dealing with just educating those in the community about sex trafficking, what to do and how to even notice if one of your young ladies or what, for them to be able to guard against what is happening in our communities, to make sure that we are well prepared to be able to be proactive to guard against this in our communities, as well as just some domestic violence, those who have even experience domestic violence, we will have what's called the Purple Lounge. This will be a place where ladies can come and share and just be free in a safe space, where we will have some counselors as well as ministers who will be there to just help them to kind of guide through it, as well as making sure that we have some other things on just domestic violence itself. So I'm really excited about what's about to happen in the next week.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Reverend Marshall, thank you for joining us and sharing your passion and more about your organization and the Hidden Jewels Project. We appreciate your time. And the Hidden Jewels Weekend kicks off next Saturday, like you heard her mention, November 11th at Ardmore Baptist Church. You can still purchase your tickets to attend. Visit the website on your screen now, hiddenjewelsproject.org.